My name is Michael Presniak, and I am the Membership and Digital Communications Coordinator for the Alberta Hotel and Lodging Association. You know what, for me, I think the most important technology in my life is streaming services like Spotify and Netflix. A day probably doesn't go by where I'm not tuned into Spotify at work, or I'm driving, or wherever, and I think there's no better way to kick back and relax than watching 5 episodes of your favorite TV show back to back on Netflix. But actually, I think the most interesting thing about those services is just how they've evolved from a consumer perspective. 5 years ago or so, to consume the amount of content that we have access to today would have probably cost you a small fortune. You think back a couple years ago, you're burning CDs, the cost of CDRs would cost you $60 for 12 of them, because half of the funds go back to the producers. So it's amazing what these streaming services offer you for a very small and affordable monthly fee. Actually, we at the Alberta Hotel and Lodging Association, we've developed a series of online training videos, and we're sort of emulating that sort of monthly or yearly subscription-based platform. We developed these in partnership with Olds College and their hospitality training program, so that now our members can pay a one-time annual subscription and they get access to a whole suite and gamut of online training videos and the evaluations to go with it. We see this as being a great service to them in the fact that it's one-time transaction, it's quick, it's instant, they get it all, they get it now, as opposed to piecing out each playlist one at a time. And then for us, it's a better revenue model because it's easy for them, it's one-time fee, and it's built out right away. Now, the only issue that we face is now we have to keep the content fresh, and we have to constantly be thinking about new things to add to it and how we're going to keep their interests and keep them as subscribers. And we've been working on a few things in the background, and we'll be releasing those shortly. So there's some exciting times ahead for us on that front. The two main social media platforms for us that are most important are Facebook and Twitter. We use Facebook sort of more as our community page. Twitter, it's more of a revolving door, so it's more of your constant news updates and things you're throwing out there, whereas Facebook, every post we make is sort of meant to be more rich content and more engaging. As far as a management software is concerned, we used Hootsuite previously, but I've switched us to Sprout Social. I find Sprout, it's a little more expensive, but there's some really unique features that go along with it. You can still schedule the way you would in Hootsuite, but there's a really cool added feature like preview. You can preview your post before you post it. And I think this is very valuable to anyone who is posting tons of content, because not every website is set up with Twitter cards. And so if you can preview and see, oh yeah, there is more rich content added to your post before you post it, and it's not just a boring link, you'll know whether or not to add a picture or a video clip or something just to make it a better, more engaging post. LinkedIn is interesting. Us as an association, we're not on LinkedIn. And I think part of that is we see that between Facebook and Twitter, that's where most of our audience is. They're communicating to your everyday consumer, everyday person, trying to get them to come to their hotel. At the end of the day, we exist to help them and their business be more successful. And so if we're doing things in a space where they're not, it's not as effective, it's not a good use of our time or our resources. I think the biggest thing with any industry or any business is you need to keep up with the times. You're seeing more and more disruptive technologies come into play every single day. You can now get any food item you can imagine delivered to your house through Uber Eats, through Skip the Dishes. You don't need to call a cab anymore, there's Uber. We've already talked about Spotify and Netflix. I think the biggest thing affecting our industry in particular is technologies and applications like Airbnb. What you can do, what you can rent, anywhere you can visit, you can do it all through a lovely app. And it's something that we as an industry of tourism and hospitality, we need to find alternatives that give our customers access to similar features that we maintain control of, and they provide you better service because you're booking direct. You won't have any overbookings, double bookings, or reservations that didn't quite get through because there was outdated information through booking.com or the like.